Howdy there, beautiful people. It's Spencer Wood. Today may be the only second time in my career that I'm completely solo dolo. No Chili, no Stump today. They both have doctor's appointments tomorrow, and they went to their grandparents' house to hang out for the day, and probably get spoiled with a lot of treats. So the boys aren't going to be with us today, but I'm here in Kennebec County in the town of Winthrop, Maine. A really awesome town here, centrally located to a lot of recreation and pretty much any hub that you want. It's about an hour down to Portland, Maine, and you're also surrounded by, I think, about 11 lakes and ponds right here, pretty much within like the town limits. So a super place for recreation and fishing, boating, all that sort of stuff. But before I give it all away here, I'm gonna just let you know where we're at. We're at 49 Owens Drive in Winthrop, Maine. We got a 30-acre plus or minus parcel out here at the end of a dead-end road, gravel road, maintained year-round access, power up above, good cell phone service. A couple cool, old colonial features. We got a lot of stone wall around this property. It's actually really well flagged. All the corners have boundary markers flagging all the way through the woods. We've walked the entire thing, so really easy to see, where your boundaries are. If they're not these stone walls, then there's going to be flagging and stuff going through the woods here. But as you can see, we essentially have an abandoned, neglected, rundown, has to go single wide mobile home here that was, I think, put in right around like the 80s or something like that. It's a complete throwaway. There's no saving it. We've actually called a few different companies. We've been quoted between about $6,000 and $8,000 to remove this mobile home, which it will need to. As you can see, I mean, there's some of the siding's missing, some of the walls inside are missing. I mean, there's nothing you can do. So please don't call me and ask if the mobile home can be saved. It cannot be saved. $6,000 to $8,000 to remove that. But the nice parts that come with this is that we're actually standing on, like, I believe where the old septic field, leach field system is, which was right out here in front of this mobile home back in the early 90s. And I believe 1992 is when this system was put in. So septic on the property. You got the single wide, no gravel pad, no concrete pad. This is essentially just a really nice, like, compacted gravel pad that it looks like it's sitting on underneath here. But then a real big benefit is actually this 2-car garage over here. So you just saw this single wide mobile home that needs to go. We're looking at this 2-car garage here, concrete, pad laid down. Everything actually looks really solid in here. 2-story, a lot of storage space upstairs, not insulated, anything like that. But this is actually in good working shape here. I mean, you can see, this is the old driveway right here, and there's a bunch of stuff like this. You can actually see the car down there. So the stone wall is out here in front, goes all the way down to your corner, and then comes back up all the way through the woods here. So really nice to have those old stone walls there. Pretty easy to reclaim this driveway with just like a weed whacker or some, hedge trimmer, something like that. But that's already here. Leads right up into your 2-car garage, which actually really nicely, so it's like a good surprise here with this garage because it is in good shape. So you got the 2 doors here. We obviously are able to put them up and down. Concrete's in really good shape. Everything on the inside here is actually really nice. It's real dry, not a lot, there's no mold or anything like that, no insulation or anything to get kind of nasty. So this is going to be a good working structure for you. All the electric's hooked up to it. It's got the outlets, it's got lights, it's got all that sort of stuff. Obviously used to be a little workshop over there, stuff like that. They got an old fridge in here and electric burner, that sort of stuff. And a nice little continued surprise here is this 2nd floor storage space. These stairs, super sturdy, like nothing wrong with this at all. And this 2nd floor is a really nice storage space up here. Everything, again, really dry. I'm not seeing any, mold or water damage on the inside of these rafters and stuff in here. Floor up here is good. You can see there's just a bunch of old stuff that's been stored here for a long time that, needs to go. But a little bit of elbow grease, cleaning all this stuff out, maybe painting the outside and, you can have this be a really nice looking structure. Windows are broken, but little door kind of window thing there, you know, if you wanted to lift some stuff up from outside. But the garage here is a nice little pleasant surprise, and you can definitely use it right from the get-go. Get rid of that mobile home, maybe bring your camper in here or something like that, and you know, you're really off to the races. So we'll get outside and we'll start looking around a little bit more. We'll get into the woods, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the real treasure here is this property, this 30 plus or minus acres that abuts the Kennebec Land Trust, that's open to hunting and snowmobile trails and all that sort of stuff. So let's get outside. So before we jump into the woods here, we're out on Owens Drive here, and this is you know, a little stream, unnamed, that's coming through the property here, meandering down from about that 450 to 500 foot in elevation mark at the top of the property here. Kind of slopes down a little bit down here towards Owens Drive. So you got this nice little creek kind of coming through the side of the property here. The property goes quite a bit further this way. There's only one little lot, which we'll show you, small lot, maybe an acre in size with a little cabin on it. And then the rest of the road here is all going to be on your road frontage as well, right to the dead end and beyond. So we'll check that out in a second, but fun little feature coming right through the side of the property. You can see the single wide and the garage over there, but this is, you know, all right here is going to be your road frontage as well. You can see we got a dirt maintained, plowed, nice road. You can easily drive cars on it. You can see kind of right and left here, there's some other homes here on Owens Drive, some other single wides and stuff like that. Everybody's got clean lawns, have, you know, look like great neighbors. All this is still your property here. Comes right up essentially onto this into this thicket stuff. Right here you can see the red roof of this little cabin that's in between that kind of breaks up the road frontage a little bit. So they just have about an acre right here, and then all the way down, if you're kind of seeing down there, which where we're going to keep walking to, that's all your property there. So it regains this road frontage and then essentially goes well beyond the dead end where the power stops is right here. So we're going to get over there, we'll get into the woods, we'll talk a little bit more, and we'll tell you what we're getting into for prices and taxes and all that sort of stuff in a minute. Okay, we're a little bit further on down the road here. We're at essentially the dead end. This is where the town stops plowing and maintaining the road. Kind of see right here where this car is parked. This is like a little dead end kind of parking area. Power stops right there. That is the final pole. The corner right here, essentially where the driveway stops or ends, whichever way you want to look at it. The road frontage on 49 Owens picks back up again. So it comes all the way out here, goes for another couple hundred feet that direction. You can see those stone walls through there, and I'm sure you're starting to look into this kind of forest here and see some really nice mature big trees. There's some large oak, there's some big pine, hemlock out there. Really nice, mature, healthy forest with, you know, more of a mixed kind of canopy, but there's definitely some really big hardwood trees out here that look beautiful. Gonna be a really great hunting spot because you got the acorns, you got the privacy, you got the land trust that's out back there. So before I get too hyped up into the land part of this, as always, please like, comment, subscribe to our channel. We love doing this for you guys. Helps us lock in your feedback, so please continue to do that for us. Okay, a quick little story here. Not a little quick little story, I'm just gonna keep going. All right, so we are standing in an old but never used log landing. So you can see down there, hopefully you can see that black car. That's essentially where the road dead ends. We're about, you know, 150, 200 feet past that. And this is an old log landing that a couple years ago, the seller was going to have the timber cut. They kind of got it prepped and stuff like that. There's a couple of hitches out here, but she actually never ended up going through with the harvest. So the woods are untouched, and I think that there is some money in the timber out here, just looking at like the size of the trees and stuff like that. Of that, I'm not too sure what that value would be. I'm not a forester, a logger, or anything like that, but in order to get that real number, you could do a timber cruise with a professional and actually get a real number on the timber value of the woods here. But kind of point being here with this landing, super well built up. I mean, you can see that they built all this drainage in. They brought in some nice fill. I mean, this is a really solid spot, and it's right past the end of the dead end there. So could be a really good home site location, honestly. When you're tucked back here, you don't see any other houses or anything. There's nothing out in front of you. You go straight back into the woods here. So even if you were, you know, put your house right here, ran a couple poles of power or something like that, this could be a really beautiful location out here to just kind of be tucked away on your own property and, you know, maybe do some sort of rental situation or something like that over where the single wide is. All right, so we're getting into the guts of this property here out on the land. A couple things that we're starting to notice. The little pond right here, the little creeks and stuff are rolling through the property, getting down into areas like this, making fun little spots to, you know, kind of put some game cameras up, see what animals are coming and taking a drink or a dip sort of thing. You can see behind me some big hemlocks, some big oak trees over here as well. There's not a lot of undergrowth and stuff out here. Pretty much all the species of trees are, you know, looks like they're, you know, almost 12 inches plus in diameter. We're walking up through the property to get to the back where the land trust conservation abuts us. Again, another little creek coming down that empties into that little pond that we showed you down there. Kind of fun. It's like a little, it's almost a little valley right here. A little dimple over here, a little dimple over here, and then a nice little stream coming through the middle. Some world-class fishing right here in Winthrop. There's 11 different ponds and lakes, and some of them are world-class trout and stuff like that around here. Really unbelievable fishings. 2.5 hours from Boston, hour from Portland, hour and a half from Bangor, about 2 hours from Concord, New Hampshire. So really good central location to kind of get anywhere you want. You're only about 20 minutes away from Augusta, which is our state capital, and has, you know, a whole bunch of restaurants and hospital and all that sort of stuff there. So if you need some of your more unique amenities, you know, they'll have the hardware stores and the automotive stuff, some great restaurants. The river goes right through there. So only about 20 minutes away from our state capital. All right, we're all the way to pretty much the back of the property. It's actually the back of the property is right down there. We'll get there in a minute. We're gonna hike down this hill. You can see that we're sitting at essentially the peak of the property here, about 500 feet in elevation. Slants off pretty good down there, but man, what a really mature, big hemlock forest right here. Really fun to kind of walk through the back here. It starts kind of getting a little darker because of the canopy of these hemlock and stuff like that. But really beautiful property. We're gonna walk on down there. We'll show you that Kennebec Land Trust, you know, boundary right there. You can hunt that, and that is 1,100 acres right there that you directly abut. The snowmobile trails and stuff like that go through the land trust. So I know back, maybe as soon as last year, I believe that the snowmobile trail actually abutted the property here, kind of meandered through and went up into the land trust there. I'll try to follow up on that, but we may have direct snowmobile trail access right down there off of Owens Drive. All right, we've made it to the back of the property now. You can see a nice little marker right here for the Kennebec Land Trust, the conservation boundary. You can see the marking here, the red markings on the trees. And as you kind of walk through the forest here, there's pink ribbon. All the trees are marked with red. There's those land trust tags. There's ribbon all the way down to the road. So this is very well laid out. And again, you know, you can kind of see behind me here, we're on the bottom, the very back of the property. And then there's this nice hill right here, which is climbable, but it's got some pitch to it. It goes up quick. That's about 500 feet of elevation up there. This kind of slopes off and goes into that Kennebec Land Trust, Mount Pisgah. I think Pisgah land, you know, the conservation area. There's a mountain over there. It's about 100 acres with a fire tower at the top with amazing views of the surrounding mountains and beyond. So that is all a part of this 1,100 acre land trust conservation area that you're abutting here. I'm gonna say it a million times, but it matters a lot when you're walking around in the woods trying to understand where your property lines are. So we got an old rebar pin right here, super easily identifiable flagging, you know, all over these trees, 3 flags signifying the corner pin here. And honestly, one of my favorite New England things is the old stone walls. So luckily this stone wall pretty much divides the entire property. It's all in shape. You can't miss it as you're walking through the woods. This is what used to be the old snowmobile trail. It may still be the active snowmobile trail. I have to figure that out, but really nice road right here. Great for walking, snowshoeing, you know, if you're into cross-country skiing or just running the dogs or running a four-wheeler or something like that, kind of through your property. Really nice to just have this road here on the side of the property going back down to Owens Drive. So, you know, if you're tired of walking through the trees or whatever, you can jump on this nice road and cruise all the way back down home. And we found it, confirmation. So this is the active snowmobile trail here. You can see, essentially this is that discontinuation of Owens Drive there. And you got your snowmobile trail symbol right up here. So really awesome accessibility from your winter snowmobiling standpoint right off of the property. Over here is your property. So again, direct access into the snowmobile trail right here from your property. We're walking down to another little corner pin here. This is like a little bubble, little like football field square that pops out here, almost like a hammerhead in a sense. And conveniently, the stone walls follow that as well. I mean, there's, you know, there's some stone walls around, but like this is it. Like this is the primary stone wall here that is tracing this property. You can again see 3 flags. You got a pin right here, so you really can't mess up knowing where you are. And on that note, I'll just recap everything real quick. We're at 49 Owens Drive in Winthrop, Maine. You got 11 lakes and ponds right here in town, some world-class fishing 10 minutes away from your house. You got some nice little streams meandering through, some little ponds through there, really nice, mature, beautiful forest. We're looking at an asking price of $138,500. We got annual property taxes of about $1,700 a year. You got the usable 2-car garage with a nice poured concrete slab that's sitting on with the 2nd floor for storage. Mobile home has to go, but that comes with well, septic. You know, there's some money sitting in the woods if you wanted to try to recoup some of that, cut some trees, open things up, make a couple food plots, jump on the snowmobile trail right here, and away you go. And don't forget that Owens Drive is a year-round maintained dirt road and also a dead end, and you're all the way at the end of it. So we hope you guys have enjoyed the tour today. As always, like, comment, subscribe. If you have questions, contact me, Spencer Wood. My number, my contact info will be above here. And as always, we'll see you at the next one. Giddy up.